know how much us Brits hate the snow, and when it does fall, the entire country comes to a standstill. And a couple of days ago, I was tasked with a 300-mile journey home in this, the Mitsubishi Shogun. With snow and sleet falling from the skies, the conditioning's getting worse and worse by the second. I drove this from one end of the country all the way to the middle of the country, and I was pretty impressed. Up until this point, I'd never really considered the Shogun as a true contender to the Land Rover Discovery, but how wrong I actually was. So let's take a closer look at the car, starting with the practicality. So there's no doubting that the Shogun is an incredibly practical car. We certainly got 5 crew people in the back of it on the long drive to Portsmouth and back. So once we get this rather heavy tailgate open, which doesn't have a split tailgate, and it would be nice to have one Mitsubishi, so bear that in mind for the next redesign, it reveals our 2 additional seats in the back, and we simply pull them out of the floor and they pop up. So let's see what it's like for size inside. These seats can be a little bit fiddly to get in position to get in the rear. So trust me when I say there's plenty of space for 2 kids in the back, or 2 relatively small adults, or 2 fully sized adults in a relative bit of discomfort. But the real bonus comes when you get into the back, and these 3 seats are very comfortable. And with virtually no transmission tunnel in the centre, you should be able to sit in the middle seat in comfort on long journeys. And all of this is only enhanced by the option of climate control in the rear, so you shouldn't have any problems in keeping the cabin just how you like it, coupled with a rather funky cup holder for those all essential service station stops. And the Shogun also comes with the optional extra of entertainment systems in the rear, with the things like DVD players and screens to keep you folks entertained on those long trips. So a very comfortable place to be, especially on long journeys. So let's have a little look at the front. Trim wise, the Shogun feels quite luxurious. And of course, in any vehicle of this size, the seating position makes you feel quite grand out on the road. Now, the centre console is a satellite navigation unit. It also has the all-essential Ipod connectivity. For you die-hard off-roaders, we've got this trip-type computer that reads out things like your elevation and the outside temperature. So, quite a luxurious and commanding place to sit in. Now, there's also plenty of binnacles dotted around the cabin. We've got one that's ideal for phone and cards here. We've got another one here to reveal our 12-volt adapter. We've got 2 cup holders, very large side bins, and evidence that we have actually been on this very long trip. A space here to contain all your receipts to give to your accountant at the end of the day, plus another space to store your stale cookies and sweets. So, a very nice interior, quite impressive, and it's all enhanced by this rather large sunroof that just allows light to flow into the cabin. So, what's the car like on and off the road? The Mitsubishi Shogun is hardly the most stylish off-roader, but it is a off-roader, which means a chunky exterior design and road-dominating front end is expected. And that's exactly what is delivered. There is no doubt that the Mitsubishi Shogun looks solid and ready for any type of action. The Shogun's cabin offers big comfortable seats and a rather solid instrument panel, which comes well equipped with all the satellite navigation, bells and whistles that you'd expect. Another interesting feature is the second gear stick, which is in fact what you use to switch between 2 and 4-wheel drive. This Shogun is only available in one engine, and it's a 3.2 litre diesel which has 197 brake horsepower, which I'd say is more than enough for the majority of your needs. The 3-door version can reach 0 to 60 miles an hour in just 9.7 seconds. However, even though there is quite a bit of power on offer, the Shogun doesn't seem to repel you off the mark as quick as you may like. Off-road, the Shogun is absolutely brilliant, and as was proven by our 300-mile snowy drive home from Portsmouth, icy and snowy conditions also pose no problem for the car. But get it on the soft road and the suspension does show you all of the bumps and the little nooks in the road, so it's not as refined as some of its competitors out there on the soft road. But that's not to say it isn't an absolutely tremendous off-roader. In terms of ownership, one of the main things to consider with the Shogun is that it's reliable. In fact, it's one of the most reliable off-roaders out there. The Shogun is quite expensive, with a basic model costing you around £30,000. Emissions are quite high as well, at 207 grams per kilometre at the absolute minimum. The Mitsubishi Shogun is a great off-roader. Its drive, however, is not quite as refined as the Land Rover equivalent, but it is definitely up there as a competitor with similar models of that calibre. In my opinion, the Mitsubishi could do with making a few alterations to its soft road credentials and possibly giving it a bit more of a kick under the bonnet. But when it comes to off-road performance or towing, the Mitsubishi Shogun is both handy and an incredible amount of fun. Out of the available 5 Motor Talk stars, we give the Shogun a 3.5 rating.